license. There's got to be a way to look up applications. Is that Irvin's employment contract? Let me see. No idea where mine H363 is, but we could search for it at the Foundry database. All right, we've got some solid leads, it looks like. The employment contract and the hunting license at Town Hall. And as the lawyer, she's probably right. The burden of proof is sky high on this one. It's likely already in orbit. It was a bit strange going through Irvin's old things, though. I was hoping for some old pictures, but nothing. What's that you have there? A plant? No, but I did find a few slates that might give us a clue. As well as a reminder to finish a physics paper that I never did. Beautiful and resilient, as extremophile plants tend to be. Although this self-sustaining habitat dish gets some of the credit. I bet it could survive without care for a long time. Witchcraft, probably. But if you want a more scientific explanation, I have a couple of theories. It could go through states of hibernation, or draw moisture from the air the way epiphytic plants do. There's also that habitat dish Irvin set up for it, which gave it light and nutrients. Still, I'm not ruling out witchcraft. I'm not sure. It might not even be a plant. It might technically be a fungus. But there's probably a reason why Irvin tried his best to keep it alive. When we get back home, I'll go through some of his research notes. It might tell us something more about this plant. Hopefully it's not poisonous. No, maybe not. But it helps me. Irvin was the last person to handle this plant. It mattered to him. No matter how the case goes, this warms my heart. I didn't expect to find it, but I love that I did. In any event, I'll go through Irvin's notes in more detail later. There's probably a flowchart somewhere with this little guy's name on it. Oh, on that note, we should give it a name. I'm thinking something simple, yet refined. What do you think of Harvey? Then it's unanimous. Okay, the three of us should get back to it. You, me, and Harvey have a case to solve. Oh, let's see what's in there. I feel like we're really making good progress here, you know? I don't know if people still curse Irvin's name around here. If there's any resentment left, we'll fix it. You might want this.
Someone painted some choice words on the front of the Arcmite factory the other day. Robots took it down real quick, though.
They probably never intended for these walls.
Have you heard about... We're not supposed to leave the canyon. Too dangerous.
You had been an uptick in strongly worded graffiti recently.
I've got applications. A hazmat squad came through here the other day. Said they're cleaning out any heat leeches. Public safety concern. I think I missed something.
Are you taking coffee orders? I'd kill for a cappuccino right now.
If you have any problems, you should talk to Chief Pretorius. She'll help you out.
Does something smell off to you? I'm sure the quality sensors will catch it.
All these fancy new businesses going up, and we still can't get no production.
Wonder if there are any mining jobs on Mars these days. Put up with some dust.
I hope we're... How are you doing? Let's take a look. There's nothing wrong with you. Of course. I need to get back to my work now, if you don't mind.
Welcome to Clint's. Whatever you need, I'm sure of. Except mech parts. Don't trade those anymore, so don't waste your time asking. Well, for one, it's illegal in UC space. Making mech platforms used to be Gagarin's bread and butter. So, since they were banned in the armistice, I get 1 to 2 folks a month asking what kind of relics I might have lying around. But I'm not about to risk a contraband fine at my age, so that's why I just lay it out up front. If you need anything, just follow the sound of falling inventory. You'll find me eventually. Gagarin. It was a military town until the end of the Colony War. Mechs were our specialty. Everyone always blabbers about Mars making the highest performance machines. But if you needed a system that wouldn't let you down in a pinch, you piloted a Gagarin. But that all dried up when the mechs were banned with the armistice. Now, we've got these new firms coming in. Arcmite, Centauri Mills. Claim they're here to revitalize the city. Which is funny, since their employees refuse to step foot in most of it. Plenty more competition for stores like mine, that's for sure. UC had a lot more money to throw around in those days. During the war, I couldn't keep the shelves stocked. At first, because of all the demand. But later, because the Freestar Collective flotillas were so damn good at picking off UC merchant craft. But the biggest difference now? The quiet. Not just because most of the forges and mines shut down. It was the testing. Firms used to drive their prototype mechs out into the canyons, way beyond the city. But you could still hear the guns all the way from here. It was like, shoo, thunder. So when the thunder stopped, well, so did Gagarin in a way. Good way to think about it. Hopefully I'll be around long enough to see the end result. Plenty on offer.
I was thinking about going
Hey,
for a hike outside.
what's drunk? People seem
I
to
remembered
really
where we
like
are
it.
and got a drink instead. Securities, the Terrabrew kiosk still busted? I swear, last time that thing worked, there were still humans on Earth.
This thing you're wearing? It's kind of creeping me out a little. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I've got a lot of shipments to process still, so let's cut to the chase. Are you here to claim a shipment in storage, or do you have some other shipping concern? Did one of my robots wander off again? Was it something else entirely? What do you expect? Robots never get tired. They don't need breaks. They can carry heavy loads. They're faster and more efficient in every way for this kind of work. And if I'm being honest, I prefer their company. When you've spent most of your life in space away from people, you learn to trust technology more than humanity. Well, it's owned by Unified Transport. We employ a mostly robotic staff. Fewer mistakes that way. We do short-term storage, long-term. I guess that's pretty much it. It's a warehouse. We do shipping. Enough said. You'd be surprised. Gagarin's had a bit of a resurgence lately as an industrial hub. It seems like every week we're storing and shipping more and more cargo. That reminds me, if this keeps up, we're going to need more robots. Back to work, then.
Nice to talk to someone when they're not in trouble. Could use a little chit-chat after the... Should get back to it anyway.
Watch your step. It's easy to take a sudden trip around here.
Unless you're going to put Akmite and Centauri in town.
Chronicles of the Mech Riders. It's a good title. You read it, right? Ah, but the whole story is about romance. The marriage of man and machine. Action, adventure, heartbreak, humanity at its absolute most raw. Ever since I left the military, I've been thinking about writing chronicles. Interviewing other mech pilots about what it was like to experience the war strapped in, and what it's been like for us ex-pilots since mechs were banned. Deployed from 2309 till the fleet got themselves blown to bits 2 years later, and the UC waved the white flag. I was at the Battle of Mars when the Free Stars dropped in to try and blow our industrial output to smithereens. If you've ever visited Sidonia and noticed it's still in one piece, that's my unit's work.
Just take my cred stick already.
Well, in the bold future where the book's done and I don't have to track packages for a living anymore, I'll happily sign your copy. Now, what can I do for you? When folks lose a limb, some get ghost sensations. Feel like the limb's still there. Well, imagine that across your whole body. When you're strapped in long enough, you and your machine, you grow to understand each other. What the machine can take and keep going, and what the human can. We'd even sleep in our mechs so we could deploy faster. And since they were a hell of a lot more comfortable than the cots the UC issued, you spent your life cradled in the arms of a war machine. That's what it's like to pilot a mech, and that's what I want to write about. The armistice that ended the colony war put plenty of new laws into place, but the two big ones were no more xeno-weapons and no more mechs. You'll get into trouble for even having mech components on your ship on more settled worlds. So those of us that made our living piloting them were left without a purpose. Which is how I went from driving a 1500 horsepower battle frame to working in a shipping warehouse. Sailing across the settled systems, hunting down all these other pilots, it's not going to be cheap. That's why I'm living in scenic Gagarin and not, say, downtown New Atlantis. Every spare credit goes right into the book fund. Of course, I don't exactly mind living in the same town where my mech was built either. But once I've got enough, I'm gone. Later.
Blockade sustained interruptions will lead to deactivation. I would like to avoid that.
Gagarin's not an easy place to live. Nice to finally be getting some new people.
You know who's really to blame for Gagarin's problems? The Free Star Collective.
Coldest
UC
drinks
wins the
keep
colony
getting to
war,
you?
None of this ever happened.
See ya.
Most of these corporate clowns won't even show their face.
Why is no one talking about bringing back mechs? The city was fine before Freestar banned them.
Apparently, the corporate execs are talking about building their own priority catalogs.
I'm gonna become a famous bounty hunter, just like the Mantis.
You're not gonna tell my mom about you.
Hopefully that public access computer is still working. So, the hunting license was sponsored by Hephaestus after all. Nellie will be very interested to see this.
Smells like dust in town. You looking for the nice part of town? I think you... Missed it.
Coordinates look valid to me. Imagine Irvin thinking the same thing all those years ago. Just a job, right? Well, at least we know where to keep looking, right? This is what we do. We're explorers, adventurers. But yeah, other than that, it's my fight. I don't want to get anyone else involved. Essentially any documentation that screams, Irvin isn't guilty, we made it up. I guess we'll see what state the mine is in. It's possible they collapsed it before they left. We just won't know until we get there. If that's the case, we'll just have to figure something out.
You lost her waiting for somebody?
Can't imagine what the temperatures get up to outside these days.
You been to Clint's recently? He get crushed? Under all that crap yet?
might want this.
I picked up something you might...
Let's see what's on this ball.
This place was shuttered 20 years ago. It might have new tenants now.
Hello, love. Leaving so soon.
You should check in with Ellie's. Oh, good, you're up. Let's just pick a star and go. What do you think?
Hi. Please disregard. I attempted at beginning combat protocol. How can I be of service, Captain? Return soon.
None for me, thanks. Whoa. Hostilities already. Well, they don't need it now. This looks promising. This looks like administration. Bingo! All right. Now let's go find Irvin and Helgi's lab stations. It was the destruction of the bacterial colonies, not the apex predators. So, they ruined the ecosystem here, and it had nothing to do with Irvin. This is it. This is what Ellie needs to see. For some wild alien pie recipe, is it? Gone. Well, we have other things to do anyway. Not uncommon. Have fun! Watch out. That's going to be messy. Seems like Helge tried to do the right thing here. I'm sure Ellie would want to see this. He's citing numerous ethics violations dating back to before Erden's time. And Hephaestus just ignored him. have something for you. Ellie's going to love seeing this hunting license. Yep. We're regular detectives, aren't we? Back to the case. We should check in with Ellie. For you? Of course. And I trust you. Mm-hmm. He took an ancient plant from a moon that had been ejected from its planetary orbit, and he genetically modified it somehow. That's when it started smelling so good, too. I told him to let me know when he found a pizza plant. Then maybe I'd develop a green thumb. Honestly, I didn't want to think about it. Any of it. And I know how that sounds, I do. But when I found that artifact, I realized I had to get my house in order before I could move on. The visions pushed me forward. But my pain, my doubt, it holds me back. And I just feel like I'm splitting in half sometimes. Yeah, he did it as a favor to one of his colleagues from his university days. Plus, it paid well. And it didn't seem that complicated. Gagarin has more apartments for sale than buyers, so it was cheap. And the contract was for a month, so it made sense. Yes, he was one of the first people I met when I moved into the lodge. His room used to be full of plants. The humidity was hard to get used to. Oh, he would have loved to be part of this investigation, I bet. He always loved making things right. It's one of my husband's botanical experiments. Somehow it survived alone without sunlight or water or any kind of care. I wonder if he knew that it could survive without him for so long. Thanks for listening. Did you have any other... You know what? I think we actually might have a shot at clearing Irvin's name. Gagarin has seen some better days.
I know a guy who's just got a job at the Centauri Mills plant. Won't say what they pay, but his outfits sure have gotten nicer.
Ellie! Hello?
Welcome back, detectives.
Ellie, I sent you all the data from the mine already. As I'm sure you know.
Yes, I've been reviewing it. Sit down. Let's have a chat about it. Welcome back, you two. How was the trip to the mine?
You're gonna love this, Ellie.
Okay, someone better tell me. Come on.
We found the coordinates to Irvin's old work site and went there. Huge battle. Fire, explosions. Pew, pew, pew.
Barrett, please.
You should have seen the plants in there, too. Weird stuff. Anyway, you read over the documents we found there, right? What do you think?
What you both found in that mine is remarkable. These documents show that the chemicals released by the mining process contaminated the ecology even before Irvin was tasked with removing the predators. And they also show that Helgi informed Hephaestus of the issue, and it was repeatedly ignored. And with that, I think we've got ourselves a case, my friends.
Yes! That's what I wanted to hear, Ellie. Woo!
Yes, but it's still likely to lose. Because what we really need now is Helgi as our witness, and that is a problem. Helgi isn't an ideal witness at all. He was our star witness the first time, and he never showed up. Plus, he's got a reputation around town. After he quit, he went a bit weird.
I can handle a bit weird. I know the captain can too.
Clearly. But the judge might feel differently. It might be worth finding some character witnesses too while you're looking for him. Helgi's documents are nothing without him there in court, explaining them to the judge.
Does Helgi still live around here by any chance?
Sort of. He's, unpredictable, though. We could, but I think we'd lose the case, bluntly. We can verify these documents are real, but Hephaestus can counter by attacking Helgi's character. They'll label him a disgruntled employee and then find a dozen independent scientists to confirm Irvin was at fault. But with Helgi in court, he can explain the science and help me challenge any countering theories during cross-examination. That's also a bit tricky. He's hard to find. Doesn't really stay in one place for long. You might ask Dr. Kayala. She checks up on folks who fall through the cracks sometimes. You'd have to convince her to tell you where he is. That might be hard.
Sounds like we're making a stop at the med clinic. We'll be back when we convince Helgi to be a witness.
Listen, if he refuses, then he refuses. Can't force him.
Yeah, we don't want to press him too hard. The last thing we need is him refuting what he wrote. This is going to take a light touch, but I think we can handle it.
Do you need medical assistance? Are you injured? Is there something I can help you two with?
Do you happen to know Dr. Helgi Hawkson? We're trying to get his help with something.
Sorry, who are you exactly?
We're detectives. Self-taught and unaffiliated. Freelance detectives. With the emphasis on the free part.
Wait, what? Detectives? Sorry, I don't think I know what you're talking about. I treat anyone who walks in my doors, if I'm able to. No, not really. I mean, there's Irvin the Slaughterer and Irvin the Scourge of Gagarin, but I doubt that's the same person, right? I'm sorry, I'm not a tour guide. You'll have to ask somebody else.
We're trying to help him. And Gagarin, actually.
Only every single time I see him. But listen, I don't have time to chat. Ellie's a good person. That bodes well, but I can't violate my oaths. I'm sorry. Listen, I can say that Helgi took up a job working at Clint's store just down the way. I saw him there stacking boxes the last time I picked up an order. I've got to get back to my work here, so if there's nothing else... If it's patient medical records you're after, I'll remind you, I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
We're thinking of taking Hephaestus to court with Dr. Hodgson as a witness. Now, given his situation, we're worried the defense might cast aspersions on his character, even question his mental health.
That's unfortunate, but not surprising. Look, if he agrees to testify and grants me permission, I could vouch for his well-being.
Thanks, Doc. If he does end up testifying, we'll definitely need you for the trial. Ellie Yankton will be in touch.
No promises, given patient confidentiality, but I'll do my best. I need to get back to my work now, if you don't mind.
Apparently the corporate execs are talking about building their own priority catwalks above the city. You been up there? Good luck.
Don't mind the mess. I've got a system. If you're looking for something special, just ask.
Funny you ask, because I'd like to know too. He owes me a sizable debt. I've seen him around, but never in one place, except when he needs money. I offered him a job, but he showed up to work drunk one day and I had to let him go. I don't have any ill will toward him. Sure, the credits I'd like to have back, but only because it'll mean he's gotten his life together. Enough that he's no longer allowed in my store. I don't like denying service to anyone, but it's the principle of the matter. Nobody is going to know where he is aside from someone who knows the underbelly of Gagarin. And that is Lizzie up at the bar. That's who you need to ask. You sure you got the right person? Helgi and I have had several run-ins in the past. Me? Borrow from Helgi? Not that I recall.
We just need someone to serve as his character witness, given your long-standing reputation in the city.
Sure, I can say a few words. I like Helgi, but fair warning, I'm not gonna lie for him. If I'm testifying under oath, it'll be full of the good and the bad.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
Have you heard about Space Frog? We hid some pictures of him around town.
Hello again. Something I can do for you?
Ah, yes. The detectives. I heard about you.
A reputation already? I'm impressed.
Slow news day, I guess. I serve drinks here, friend.
We were told that you are a local crime...
We serve drinks here. Here's a list of our specials for today.
There's nothing on here.
Oh, that's strange. Here, let me fix that. Don't worry, it's just the one sale today.
Oh, right. Of course, it's a number. Here you go, Captain. All yours.
Not for this kind of deal. Sorry. Credits are easier for you explorer types, though, aren't they? The service I provide is worth quite a lot. Don't think I'm desperate or anything, but you do have a point. Hold on. I never said that was my final offer. Yeah, I hope so. All right, all right. Consider it a favor. Sending the coordinates now. Wait, so let me get this straight. You want the bartender to testify he's not a lousy drunk? Yeah? I'm full of good points. Just be sure you pay for them. Don't cook yourself out there.
If you're here to collect your copy of my book, you're just a...
What? I look like the welcoming committee or something? Then get out of my face.
One time I jumped off the cliffs of a planet with almost no gravity. And at first, it took forever to get down.
I don't suppose you're here to tell me I've won a ticket to a new planet, huh?
Sorry, Doctor. Not today. We came to Gagarin to investigate Irvin Mandani's contract with the mining company a long time ago. Ring any bells?
Irvin, yeah. Biologist. Hunter. Yeah, I remember him. Why? Who are you people? Nah, I don't trust you. I don't even know you. So take a long spacewalk with an empty tank, will you?
Please. Irvin was once one of your colleagues. He was the one Hephaestus blamed for an ecological disaster about 20 years ago. Do you remember any of that?
No, I don't remember lies. Well, you're about 20 years too late.
Look, I know this is strange. We show up out of the blue about things that happened decades ago. But right now, nobody save us knows the truth. And that means we're the only ones who can clear Irvin's name.
And what of it? You probably think the sky is blue too. Well, you'd be wrong. It's whatever color Hephaestus says it is.
Only if you let them. You're a scientist. Your words matter. That's why we need you to testify.
Testify? The trial is over, the verdict rendered. In case you two clowns didn't get the memo. Because I tried before, and they threatened me 20 years ago. I still wake up in fear almost every night. They said if I ever left Gagarin, I left my wife to protect her. She didn't deserve any of this. Any of my mess. I remember not to talk with people who come asking questions about powerful corporations. Ellie Yankton? But why? It doesn't matter. Nothing's changed. I cannot do that. Why is this so hard to understand here? Damn right it does. I just didn't think there was a way to challenge them. Yeah, been a thorn in my side, back and foot for 20 years. Maybe it's time I just pull it out. You may be right. You got a point. Hephaestus' scientists will just say my theories are unfounded without me to defend them. Fine, you've convinced me. I'd be willing to testify on one condition. I want to know what happened to Irvin. Because when he disappeared, let's just say I had an epiphany. Hephaestus didn't need to say a word. That's when I knew the threats against me and my family were real.
Dr. Hawkson, it wasn't Hephaestus that took Irvin's life. It was the war. Irvin was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Caught in the crossfire.
Then I am sorry for your loss. It won't change the past for either of us. But I will testify. And maybe, wherever Irvin is, you'll be glad that we can finally stick it to those assholes at Hephaestus.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, don't get all mushy on me now. I need a drink.
Helgi agreeing to testify is a great help. We Might need witnesses to vouch for his character, though. Someone in security, maybe?
Okay, you two, lay it on me. Did you find Helgi? Did he agree to testify?
Well, we've got good news and... well, that's it. Just more good news.
Okay. Does that mean he said yes? Well, that is perfect. She's probably the best person to call on should Hephaestus decide to play dirty. Well, you two have done all that you could. Now it's time to hand the baton off to me.
What do you think, Ellie? Do we have a chance?
The evidence you've gathered is impressive. It truly is.
So what's the verdict? In this case, I'd say spoilers are appreciated.
I almost never say this because I don't want to jinx it, but I think this case is a slam dunk.
Huzzah! That's what I like to hear.
I think we can do everything on our checklist. Clear Irvin of any wrongdoing, charge Hephaestus with the cover-up, and even restore Helgi, Dr. Hawkson's standing in the scientific community. All in all, though, really outstanding work. We wouldn't have gotten this far without your efforts. And I've got to imagine that wherever Irvin is, he appreciates it too.
Agreed, Ellie. And thanks for being our anchor in this. We should probably get out of Ellie's way and let her do her thing. We can talk more in private. Wow, we actually did it! Solved the case, and hopefully cleared Irvin's name. I feel like, what's the old saying? A great weight has been lifted off my shoulders? But it's actually true. I feel like I'm 80% biomass and 20% aerogel. It's a substance that is literally lighter than air, depending on the planet. Habitable planets tend to range from 1 to 2 milligrams per cubic centimeter. Most aerogels are about 1/10 of that. I feel like I'm currently hovering in that territory. Give or take 1/10. You're right, but I'm confident Ellie's correct about the outcome. If nothing else, the court of public opinion is going to side with Irvin. If we lose, we can always leak the docs to SSNN. I hope so. It's always a tug-of-war between the workers and the mining corps. But there's one thing we've got in our favor. There's more of us than there are of them. All it takes is for the people to realize it. Ellie would know better than I, but I doubt it'll be anytime soon. These things tend to involve a lot of red tape. It's a special kind of adhesive that makes you stick to old filing cabinets and manila envelopes. I'm feeling great. Although I could do with some wine and cheese. Why stop at emotional satisfaction when we can indulge in the culinary too? But if I can be serious for a moment, thank you. I couldn't have done this without your help. That makes 2 of us. 3 if you count Harvey. And who wouldn't? He's practically family. In fact, Harvey's got a little explorer in him too. According to this slate I found, turns out that our spiky friend's been all across the galaxy. The plant? From Irvin's apartment? Just look at the slate. It'll explain. I doubt it. Harvey's a wanderer. Getting lost is how he finds his way home. We've been through a lot, haven't we? I had forgotten what it was like to work with someone so closely. When you joined Constellation, I didn't know what to expect. I was just reflecting on everything we've been through, you know? It's impressive. On top of everything else we've done together and with Constellation, yeah, I think so. Investigating Irvin's case with you is something I'll remember forever. I've come to realize that some events, some people, stand out as pillars of my life. It's whatever leaves an impression on you, right? Moments that define our lives, where our future diverged from our expectations. People who changed you, or people you've changed. Yes, some of them do. And if we're lucky, they change us for the better. We only get a brief moment in this universe to interact, to feel, to be who we are and experience the range of emotions that our bodies and minds have evolved to comprehend. Maybe I did. But this is all from my heart, my friend. You're right. The variables involved are beyond human understanding. Being born in the right time, the right place, so much is beyond our control. If one is fortunate, you might even notice events and people changing you while it is in motion. Well, that's what I'm asking you, actually. Like any group, Constellation is only capable of doing that because of the people within it. I've explored many worlds, and I've worked with Constellation for most of my life. I cherish those memories. But you have changed me as a person forever. I don't want to look back years from now and wonder what if. I need to know what you think about us. There's nothing more important to me in the entire universe, my friend. Ah, my friend. Dish. Mm-hmm. Take care of yourself, Dusty.